it's your lovely Abbie Dagrin, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, lovelies. Today I'll be doing a natal chart analysis on Ari Lennox. I will be speaking on her placements, her characteristic traits, her personality traits, and a lot of the success she's garnered. And I will be explaining through her natal chart how she's able to have these things and how it makes sense the person who she is. So please stay tuned for the rest of my video. If you have not yet followed me, lovelies, please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can be a part of the Abbie Dagrin family and know when I upload videos on the daily. Please make sure you hit that like button and share this video with all your friends, your family members, anyone in general who you know who would appreciate this content, and anyone who's a huge fan of Ari Lennox and loves to hear about natal charts. Ari Lennox was born on March 26, 1991, and this automatically qualifies her to be an Aries. And with this placement, she tends to be very loving, and she's very confident in herself, and she's also very optimistic. Since she is a cardinal sign, she is a person who is born to lead, and being charismatic is something that comes with her being a fire sign. She's also a person who's straightforward and is going to let you know how she feels regardless of what others may say about her or feel about her. She's also very bold, and she is going to make sure you hear how she feels. At times she can be impulsive, but she's also a person that's going to accomplish her goal and going to know that she's worth everything and is a very precious person. Next up is her moon in Leo. And with this placement, she loves to entertain her family and friends, and she's literally the life of the party. People love to be around her, and people just love to have her presence there. She's very funny and charming, and this is something that has to do with Ari Lennox a lot, because if you follow her or if you watch her music or if you support her content, you do see that she does a lot of things that are very entertaining. She does a lot of lives, and she just does a lot of things that people consider very fun. She's a very fun-spirited person, and she just loves to do things that are very interesting. She's always going to be very honest about how she feels, so with this placement, knowing how she feels is not something that is foreign to her, and she's going to make sure that she gets anything off her chest that needs to be taken off. So this is a good placement for her. Next up is her Mercury and Aries. It's great that she has her Sun and her Mercury in the same places, and this helps a lot with her being able to speak how she truly feels. She's a very positive person. She's very enthusiastic. She can be very witty at times and sometimes sarcastic. She may have a voice that is heard at all times. She's frank to the point, and she is the person who's not going to beat around the bush. She usually talks about her viewpoints a lot and loves to know answers at the moment. She has absolute convictions and is going to say how she feels. Very outspoken and a direct person, and this really does make sense because if you hear from her, she is this way. Next up is her Venus in Taurus, and as we do know, Taurus is exalted in Venus. And with this placement, she has a rational and predictable nature when it comes to her love life. So she's very smart when it comes to getting a relationship. She wants to have comfort, and chaos is something that she is not going to tolerate. Having chaos is something that she will flee away from as soon as possible. She's very nurturing, and that's something that deals with Taurus as well. They have a nurturing nature. She's also very predictable, and you know what's going to be the next thing with her. She's a loyal person and she's going to be committed to the person that she's in a relationship for a long time. She's a resourceful person, so getting married to her or being in a relationship with her, she's never going to be lacking. And she's also very artistic. Next up is her Mars in Gemini. And this is great because in order for her to do what she wants to do, she has a really go-getter attitude and she thinks quickly about things. And she's great at communicating. So Gemini does rule communication. So communicating is something that is important. She's an effective speaker and thrives on the exchange of ideas. She loves to make sure that she's heard, and her ideas are also going to help her with a lot of her success because she's able to make decisions in the fastest way possible. Her having a lot of energy is something that's very important as well. She also has like a vibe that gives networking skills. She's going to be able to know how to network with people in order for her to gain the success that she wants to in life. And this is what really describes her Mars in Gemini. Next up is her Jupiter in Leo. And with this placement, she tends to have a lot of energy that keeps her going all the time. So energy is never lacking with her. She has a lot of confidence in herself, and that's something that is attributed to a Leo. She is the luckiest when she is leading or is working with others. And popularity is something that comes with this placement as well. We do know that Ari Lennox is very popular, so this is something that really describes her. And with this in mind, this is something that has led to a lot of her success because she's sure that whatever she does will bring her great fortune, luck, and prosperity. And having this mindset really does help bring a lot of positivity and great things into her life. And this has been able to help her throughout her journey in being a musical star. Next up is her Saturn in Aquarius, and with this placement, she's very reserved in her actions, and she's always in her thoughts, and her thoughts can sometimes be considered to be unconventional. At times, she loves to talk about societal changes, visions for the future, and things that will benefit the future because, Aquarius is all about fixing the future, fixing other generations, having breakthroughs in life, and making sure she has no restrictions. So she's always the type of person to make sure that everything works in her behalf. And even though in this generation, the things that Ari Lennox says or anyone with this placement may not be taken seriously. However, people in other generations will be like, you know what this young lady said was so true and so right, and we should really take consideration of this. Next up is her Uranus and Capricorn, and with this, she's all about planning for the future as much as possible, and this makes her an automatic innovator. So planning for the future gives automatic Capricorn vibes. Capricorn is always thinking about the future. They're not a type of person who only thinks about the present. The future is something that they always think of. So them planning for it is very important and very much possible because they are innovators when they do this because they're able to come up with new ideas to make money, come up with new ideas to make sure they have a place to stay, come up with new ideas to do something beneficial for themselves so they know that everything will be okay and everything will be well. She also comes from a type of generation that doesn't really like authority, so that's something that she may talk about as well. Next up is her Neptune in Capricorn, and with this placement, she tends to focus on ways to increase her power, wealth, and influence. So that's also another vibe from the Uranus in Capricorn. So she's going to make sure that she increases her power in any way possible. Capricorns really do think about power a lot, and having power is something that's important to them. And they're going to make sure that they idealize work. Working is something that they will always do and make sure that is done Practicality and the ability to attain reasonable goals is something that they do as well, but also they do stress the need of selflessness and giving, so they're able to balance it out. Being selfless and giving to people is something that they really love and appreciate. So they have the best of both worlds with this placement, and it's a very great placement for Ari Lennox. Next up is her Pluto in Scorpio. Since she was born between 1984 and 1995, this automatically makes her a millennial, and she tends to always focus on things that people may see as scary or what people may seem like should not be talked about. And this is something that really explains her to the max, because she's a person that loves to talk about movements and loves to create movements that really help out with society. And making a collective issue conscience is something that is very important to them. And them being able to look at things in a deeper manner is something that's very memorable. And going into seeing things behind the scenes instead of looking at things at the surface is something that is very admirable as well. Next up is her North Node in Capricorn. And with this placement, she will need to uncover gifts and talents that will help her develop these attributes, which are self-control, approaching life from an adult position, self-respect, staying goal-oriented, sensible approach to problem solving, keeping commitments and promises, letting go of the past, self-care, accepting responsibility for her success, being self-sufficient and thanking others for their help, using wisdom to create the life that she knows she can have, identity with the Father within, creating goals for herself and executing them, committing to her visions, not being afraid to work hard, being disciplined and responsible, and hold the fort together. So she will need to develop these attributes in order for her to find her hidden talents. Last but not least is her Chiron in Cancer. And with this placement, she at times may have a womb that's related to self-love and nourishment. So maybe she probably had conflicts with her mother or anybody with this placements. She may have had tensions at home with a maternal figure, and at times this cannot be healed because she doesn't feel as though it can be. Letting go of this part is hard because it's very heart-wrenching that you have a problem with your maternal side, because Cancer deals with the mother side and Capricorn deals with the father side. So this can lead to being manipulative to others. However, being able to heal is something that's very important. Going to therapy, unprocessed trauma will be something that comes if she does not heal this, and I believe that she'll be able to accomplish this. That's all I have for you lovelies today in regards to Ari Lennox lovely natal chart. Please let me know down below how you felt about it. Did you learn anything new about her? Did you get a better understanding of her? And did you get to know something new about her? Please let me know down below who else you would want me to do a natal chart analysis on. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, that like button, and that share button. And if you have not yet followed me on my social media accounts, then this is your time to do so, lovelies, because I post so many things on my other accounts that aren't posted here, and you'll be missing out on so much. So make sure you support me on there, my Etsy store, and through my PayPal. I love you all. Please stay safe and healthy. Know that you're loved and you're appreciated and that you deserve the best. And I have a little surprise for you guys tomorrow, so please tune in. Bye, lovely. Stay safe.